notice. Probably best to keep that on. You know, you Red Wizards of Thea. Not as popular as you should be outside Thay. And, of course, you're about to be considerably less popular.
Welcome back to On the Burner. Today we're going to be reviewing Dungeons & Dragons.
Oh. Honor Among Thieves.
Honor Among Thieves, yes.
What madness is this?
I think they're starting to get suspicious.
We start off, I do not know the names of these characters, which is kind of bad on me. What's the main character? Do you know the main character's name?
Edgin.
Okay, I'm just going to call him the Bard.
Or Chris Pine.
Chris Pine. So it starts off with the Bard in prison with his friend, the Barbarian. And Holga. And essentially from there, he goes about his backstory. A tragic one at that, where basically his wife was killed by some red wizards and his daughter never grew up without a mother. From there, he escapes the prison so he can go back to get his daughter and revive his wife. Essentially, it's a film about a bard, a barbarian, a sorcerer, a druid?
Yes.
Just those four, right?
It's like a druid tiefling.
Druid tiefling, yes. It's just those four, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about these four characters, the typical Dungeons & Dragons party, coming together to save the day, even though they all have flaws and each one of them has, you know, a motivation to do a certain thing.
Right.
And their opposition in this story just so happens to be a red wizard as well as an old party member. And, you know, shenanigans go from there. And basically that's the plain old memory summary before we get into any spoilers or any of that stuff.
Yes.
Intellect devourers, small but formidable. They stun their targets and consume the brain, taking control of the body. Make no sound. They're drawn to mental energy. The higher the intelligence of the prey, the more likely they are to strike.
Well, that's a little hurtful.
What are your just overall thoughts for now? Right now.
I mean, honestly, I love the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I can't think of any real flaws with the movie. I guess let's talk about the main dude, Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Edgar. Edgin. But yeah, the Bard.
Okay.
I can't get his name right. I don't know.
I don't know why it's hard, but
I'm
okay.
special. Okay.
I know you are. It's
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you for admitting that.
Anyways.
But yeah, I guess like my initial thoughts on like the Bard is, I really like this character. He is definitely like a screw up,
Right.
but he's very charming, and I mean he always comes up with like a different plan.
The games have started. We're going to Plan C.
Oh, bollocks. What's Plan C?
Right.
And I really like how none of his plans go through, which is, you know, of course, what movie where the plans fully go through, right? Like most of the time in movies, plans always fall apart.
Yeah.
But in this film, it's done in like a really good way where he always seems to like, even though his plans fail,
Yeah.
they do seem to kind of like work out for the best.
Right.
Yeah. I thought his backstory was interesting. I liked how they threw the like him retelling to the council, which
Oh yeah.
which it, like, you know, he gives them his sob story. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sad. I used to be a part of this great thing, whatever that.
Sad. But where's Jonathan? But I'm so sad. Where's Jonathan?
Where's Jonathan though?
Like, anyway, my wife died, and, you know, this story would be much sadder if Jonathan was here.
Yeah. So when that big bird comes in, he immediately grabs him, flies out the window, and then like, what does the dragon? The dragon guys goes.
But we approved your pardon.
Release me, sir. potatoes! Oh, Jonathan!
But we approved your pardon!
It's great, dude. Like, they didn't have to do any of that.
Yeah.
And it's a great setup, too, for the ending. Like, the ending joke, the whole thing with Jonathan.
Right.
Yeah, but I guess we'll get to that later. But essentially, you know, his backstory that he tells in the beginning about how he used to be this guy that worked for nothing, and then all he ate was soup, and he's like, I hate soup. And I liked how they revealed, like, he tells this whole story and you feel bad for him. You see, it seems more like he's targeted for kind of no reason by the Red Wizards, just for doing good.
Right.
But then you realize the reason he was targeted was actually because they marked their cash, which he stole, or his gold, the gold which he stole. So it's like, you kind of, yeah, it definitely is his fault why his wife was killed like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like, he did that because like he had a Harper's Oath thing called Harper's Oath, where like he
yes,
helps people but get no profit from it.
yeah.
And he was like, we should deserve better for helping people, so he started stealing. And the first thing he stole was a Red Wizard gold thing that they usually mark, and then which then found its way back to the house where the wife was living.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sadly the wife dies.
And during his time where he's all sad and everything, he meets the barbarian Olga.
Holga, yeah.
Holga, yes, which has a thing for little people.
Yes.
like later, like she keeps talking about this her boyfriend, which you think would be this big ass dude because she's tough. Like the action scenes with her are great.
Oh yeah, the action scenes in general here are just amazing.
Oh my
I like
gosh,
it a lot.
she screws people up too.
Yeah.
And they're creative with her. I really like the ones that she's in because like she always uses stuff in the environment. She doesn't like swing her sword and that's the end of the day. Like
Right.
when it gets to the one where she's in the smelting room, she starts like using the helmet or like the tables and shit, and then she even does the Mortal Kombat thing to one of the guys. But yeah, Olga was great. She's not much of like, her personality isn't crazy, right? She's not she's not supposed to be charming or have like all like a bunch of like stuff, but she's actually, she has depth because the whole reason that she kind of an outcast from her tribe is because she got with the little guy, and then the little guy broke up with her because she was so mad about being outcasted from her tribe.
yeah. Just kind of creates that funny irony.
So she finds kind of like a family and like a tribe of her own with this Chris Pine guy, which is then you understand why they're so close to each other because the bard guy kind of needs support from somebody else, which he finds in Olga for his daughter. And it's not like a sexual thing with them.
No,
definitely not.
We quickly became like brother and sister, with a relationship built on trust and mutual respect.
She still wants those little dudes, and the bard is so in love with his wife that it doesn't seem like he'll ever look at another woman the same.
Yeah.
It's genuinely great. Like I love this.
Oh
one.
yeah.
And then they escape. Jonathan's just dead somewhere.
He's still breathing.
They escape. They didn't have to, but okay. They go and they find their friend, the wizard, the makeshift sorcerer.
Yeah.
Or wait, no. First they go to their old friend.
The con man guy.
Yeah, con man. They go to the con man, where it turns out his assistant, who was the whole reason that it was a wizard. And she did like a time stop thing, and it's the whole reason why the bard and the barbarian got stuck in the first place. Yeah. So when they finally find them, turns out the con man is now like the governor of a city, and the wizard that got them caught is the assistant. And turns out, she's a red witch. So, then they get screwed over again, and then they go out to find the makeshift wizard, they go out to find the makeshift wizard.
Oh yeah, and like another important context is that con man guy has been like telling lies to his daughter. He said like, instead of leaving you to find the Tome of Resurrection, he actually went to go find Tome of Money or something, riches.
Yeah.
And that was a lie, because the whole reason why Chris Pine even left in the first place was to revive his wife, but his daughter didn't know that.
Yeah, and the guy's been taking care of her, so...
Of course, that's why you came back. No, it wasn't for me. It was for that tablet of riches.
Riches?
No, it's a tablet of reawakening.
I'm sorry, what's this now?
It seems like the con man actually does genuinely care for the daughter.
Right.
But he's like... he's like... He's a con man. Let's talk about the wizard. Or the sorcerer.
Oh, yeah,
His introduction, where he's making these stupid ass tricks.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this is the guy, and he's like, ooh, look, you could smell grass. Look at the fire. But it turns out the whole time it's a misdirection because he's been stealing everybody's gold with this weird little ball that he's summoning behind their backs.
Yeah.
And it goes into this little action scene where people get mad and start to beat the hell out of him. So he starts like controlling gravity and then like making people fly up and down, up and down.
Right.
And I mean, yeah, dude, going back to what you said about the action scenes, they are great.
Oh yeah, they're very creative.
Going back, tracing her steps back, there's a scene where the con man basically tells them to get executed by the men, and the men bring him out. The barbarian, she just asks this guy, the knight with the axe, like, I recognize that. Oh, how do you take care of it? And he basically explains how to take care of the weapon and everything.
Wait. What do you clean it with?
You're about to lose your head. This is what you're concerned with.
If you wouldn't mind.
Right.
What, did she use a brick on him?
She was like slowly carving out a brick on the floor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then she blocks the axe, which I thought was really creative. Like, she doesn't hit him; she blocks the axe first, and then she like hits his toe and then hits his head.
I think she blocks the axe, hits his toe, and then his head. Yeah.
Okay, chop it off.
Chop it off. Let's do it.
And then after that, like the whole time, the bard is just trying to get out of his his ropes while she's killing everybody, and he's having like the worst time. Like, you can see how pathetic he is trying to undo it, and she's just beating the hell out of all these guys. It's great. A lot of physical comedy and like, oh my gosh,
very, very good.
Yeah. But then fast forwarding back to the sorcerer says, oh, I know a druid that we can equip to our party. Yeah, she can change into animals and stuff, which leads into a really cool scene later, which I really like. The bard's reason for getting back at the con man is because he wants his daughter. And he wants this talisman to revive his wife.
Right.
And then the barbarian kind of wants to do the same thing because she wants to help out the bard while also proving herself that the tribe and the little guy were wrong for leaving her.
Right.
And then the sorcerer, what's his reason? They just kind of grabbed his ass.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they kind of like forced them, like, you're gonna go with us. He's like, okay.
Well, technically, he was also in that. He was also screwed over by the con man.
That's true. He was. Finally, the druid. The reason that she's going with this party, she wants to help her people because the con man has been pretty evil towards the nature side of things near his town, like cutting down all the trees and executing people who talk bad about him. Like, isn't the druid introduced when this guy is literally gonna become, or this girl's gonna become disemboweled because she spoke ill of the con man?
What? Hereby sentenced to death by dismemberment.
Like, they were gonna make a public display. They had a bunch of people looking at her.
Right.
So, you know, each of these characters have their own motivations, and then each of them have their, like, flaws of their own.
I am a bad father. And I did leave you.
You know, they don't need like 5 minutes to explain why they have these flaws. They just show it through their character. But I mean, do you have anything else to add to the characters?
I don't know. They're all just charming. They all have flaws. That's the greatest part. No one is perfect.
Yeah.
And like, there was seemingly a perfect character that comes into play.
Yes.
His name is Xenc. And then he's like super like, I don't know, righteous. He's like super cool, whatever. He knows how to fight.
Like, he is displayed as the perfect character.
And then later he's just an idiot who doesn't know irony and jokes and metaphor.
Like,
he only talks in metaphors and
he's only really cool when it comes to like physical combat and I guess knowledge of the world.
Yeah.
But besides that, he sucks.
Everything.
Sounds lovely.
Quite the opposite.
I know I was being ironic.
He's so stupid. It's great. He's an actual NPC because later when they depart, they're departing, he just walks, right? He's just walking in a straight line. He literally walks over a rock. He doesn't walk around it.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. He's coming up on a rock. Is he gonna go around? Nope. Right over the rock.
You want to get into some of the action scenes then?
The action scene where the Xenc and like those zombie people were what they were doing in the cave, I thought that was really really smooth choreography.
That was great because Xenc was like, "Watch this!" He kills all of them, only for him to say, "Run." They can't die.
We must flee.
Why? Kill them all.
It is no simple feat to kill that which is already dead.
But what's the best part of that scene for me was the fact that it leads into another great scene. Something that both you and I would have never expected. A fat dragon.
Oh yeah, there's a fat dragon, right.
Because they're like running from those people until all of a sudden a big ass dragon, like you think he starts like breaking down the cave, and then you think, oh, it's gonna be some big ass dragon, like a buff dragon. No, he's just fat.
Right.
And the Xenc guy, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He moved to a new nest, and then the bard says, "What, did he eat the previous owner?" Which I think he did.
It's like, did he eat the previous nest?
He did, dude. Like, he can't even fly. He's that fat. He literally tumbles. He just starts rolling at one point.
Yeah, he does.
And he almost kills them all. It's great, dude. He like eats all the zombie people, which does beg to differ. Do they live? Like, do they regenerate while they're getting disintegrated by his stomach fluid, or like what happens?
I think they're just straight up dead at that point. They're dead.
Ah!
Yeah.
You sick f***. Huh?
Or maybe I do kill you. Let you rejuvenate inside my bowels. Just to know what it feels like.
But, oh my gosh, that dragon he's great, man. I did not expect a fat dragon in this film, and what a surprise that it was.
And there's a one scene where they're about to technically drown.
Yeah.
But then like the bard figures out a smart solution to get them out of that cave.
Yeah. With because it's established earlier, right? That oh my gosh, show don't tell. They're like, oh, the dragon is trying to breathe fire, but he can't. They could have been stupid. They could have easily wrote a line like that.
Yeah.
But no, instead you see the dragon constantly trying to blow fire, but instead he just burps methane.
Yeah.
So when he's finally trying to blow fire in this little cave, the bard just says, "Oh, I have a plan," and he doesn't explain the plan. He just says, "When I say go, I need you to light your finger on fire and do the parlor trick."
Yeah.
And then instantly, you know what he does? He basically, they duck under the water, he lights the fire, and it explodes so they can escape. Oh my gosh, they didn't need to explain the plan. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, show don't tell. Oh my god. But that was such a fun scene. And going to another action scene, I guess, would be the druid one.
Oh yeah, like the druid escape.
Yeah, that was like the one shot. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was just a fun section.
Yeah.
Right.
We're
Just changing her animal forms and like that it's accustomed to like wherever she's running to.
I like how it's a fly, right? And then like it's watching until the white woman jump scare happens. and then from there, you know, it keeps going and you kind of don't realize it's a one shot until later. And I don't know if you watch Pneumonia or no, you watch Pneumonia, but the audience, if they watch, it's very similar to like Pneumonia kind of feeling where like the chase scenes and everything. But oh my gosh, was it fun just watching this character constantly transforming, trying to escape, and then eventually they become a deer.
Yeah. Holga earlier was like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna become a deer, right?" It's like the bar's like, "No."
And then she became a deer.
Yeah, she became a deer later.
So she did become a deer.
Only at the very end.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's that was a fun scene. I'd say this isn't really an action scene, but it's kind of like action spurred with talking. Was when they have to question the dead on where this item is.
Yeah, that was a really good section.
Only answer when I talk to you, okay?
Yes.
Why did you say okay at the end of that?
I didn't.
Because, you know, they have to go get this helmet.
Right.
To face the... No, to open a vault door so they could get the talisman.
Right.
Back. And it basically, this helmet disables magic. Like, magical items or something.
Yeah.
And they have to question the dead, who only answer 5 questions. Before they die again. And the first scene was great. With the...
They just kept asking useless questions.
Yeah, no, where they were asking each other questions and he answered it.
Oh yeah, they're asking.
And then he goes, "Yes, this dies." And then they ask like another person, and they keep like going with the story. And I like how sometimes they ask somebody, and then the guy's like, "You've only asked me 3 questions. Could you ask me more to kill me?" Eventually, before they go to this one last, like, was it the last guy, or is it the
last
one,
guy,
the one who died from falling down,
like in a bathtub on the bathtub?
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't the last guy.
No, that wasn't the last guy.
No, but there was one guy who I thought was fucking great. He just died before the battle because he slipped on a piece of soap and then cracked his head on the bathtub. And then they don't even ask him the full 5 questions. And he goes, I guess like the last action scene is great. I really like the whole games section where they go and
the Sun Games.
The Sun Games where he brings back like these barbaric games to kill people.
Right.
And I mean, like, dude, there's so many great scenes about this film. You know, you could go all day about it. You know, there's the heist where they use the portal gun to go back and forth and everything. Like, this film has so much stuff, and it's introduced so nonchalantly, and the audience instantly knows, hey, they have this item, they have this item, they have this item.
Yeah.
It's such a well put together film that it kind of sucks that we're not going to get another one. Because, you know, like the studio was sold by Hasbro because we want to go approach video games. Okay. First it was movies, now it's games. Make up your mind. Or just focus on toys.
Well, yeah, you got the Sun Games, and then then they have that final battle with the Red Wizard.
Yes.
It was great. It's like, it's so funny because like you got the sorcerer doing some magic stuff. You got the druid being like some animals. You got Holga being just Holga, you know, with his strength, and you just got this. You got Chris Pine just smacking the wizard with his.
Yeah, bro was getting the most licks in, dude. He was getting it in. I like it when movies show don't tell, and you know sometimes they'll say they'll have a plan, but this time they didn't tell you that there was a plan going in, right? They just showed the ending where she does the time stop, and then they all pretend to freeze.
Yeah. Chris Pine couldn't hold it any longer because her breath was
Yeah, he's
just
like, damn, your breath stinks.
Sorry, your breath just smells like old clothes.
Hey, she gets Hulk smashed by the druid.
Oh yeah. That was great.
Like she died like 4 times.
I think you got her.
and you know, that final battle felt like a final battle. I'll say though, I do like the scene that basically encapsulates the whole crew is when the brain monsters were coming by, and he's like, they feed off of high intelligence, and then they just walk by.
It even walks by Xenc, who you think would be like,
yeah, you think he'd be smart, but no, he's an idiot too in his own way. And he goes, "That's a little hurtful."
Oh, that's a little hurtful.
Like, this film feels like a real D&D game brought to life.
Right, just like a little short campaign that
just without the cringe.
Yeah, just I guess, yeah. Half chub, if you guys know what that means.
What?
Hey. Well, that's just weird.
You can't see it because it's inside.
Before I even watched, when I saw the Dungeons and Dragons movie trailer,
yeah,
I wasn't really a big Dungeons and Dragons guy.
Yeah.
Because I thought Dungeons and Dragons was kind of like, I don't know why I thought this, because I never even gave it like a look. So I thought Dungeons and Dragons was a little cringe.
I mean, okay, like, I can't fault you for that. It is cringe. It is cringe, you know, like, I'm kind of in an on and off Dungeons & Dragons session, and there's like cringe in it, but it's also really fun to see how these people like make up actions and stuff. And you can see how much effort people put into it, but there's a reason it has a stigma for it. It's because it is cringe in a lot of ways. So like, you know, I can't blame you for thinking it's cringe, man. like,
but then like the more I looked into it, and the more I seen like, especially Critical Role people, or I mean, obviously like they've changed my mind about D&D a lot.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot of moments what they do there. It's like, wow, that's just genuinely funny, and like they're having fun.
Yeah.
They're just having fun. You know, D&D is literally just about a group of friends coming together and acting out a fantasy. And I think that idea of in itself is great.
I definitely think Stranger Things helped a lot of people see that kind of point of view.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. And not only that, a lot of like the enemies in Stranger Things are named after D&D monsters.
Yes.
Like Vecna 2 is based on a D&D monster.
He's supposed to be like a red wizard or something.
No, he's like a god person. I don't even know. He's like usually the final boss or something.
Oh.
Yeah. It's kind of funny to think about because Vecna is this all-powerful guy in D&D.
Yeah.
The Stranger Things Natalie shoots Vecna with a shotgun.
Oh, that's right. Oh.
But yeah, so when I finally watched this movie with a little more appreciation for D&D, and obviously Baldur's Gate 3 is great.
True.
It's amazing. Yeah, I think that's made me kind of be like, damn, I kind of missed out on watching this movie in the theaters.
Yeah, I think this movie would have been really fun in the theaters.
Yeah, and overall, it's a great movie. And it's the most important thing for me that it was a fun movie.
Yes.
It's just genuinely fun. And I don't think there's like been a lot of movies these days where it's just like just pure fun.
Yeah.
And like you can't say that about Marvel movies these days because it's so cringe. Like all these superhero movies like try to be something. Like it's like these superhero movies are like nothing trying to be something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like hard to watch. But then this one is just plain genuine fun.
They're trying to be like more than they actually are. They're trying to like push some like, oh, we have a deeper message than this. It's like, no, you're a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Be a good superhero movie.
Like there is like some superhero movies that are great, obviously, but
yeah,
a lot of the Marvel movies aren't.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. And it's definitely a breath of fresh air to see a film like this of a pretty nerdy type property.
Right.
But you can see so much love and care and attention to detail. I'm sure that this film has a lot of actual references and a lot of crazy lore from Dungeons and Dragons, because they seemed that they really did care when they were putting in effort.
Right.
But the thing is, it's not about the lore or the fan service. They just wanted to make a good movie, like a good story.
Yeah.
And that's, that's what's so great about it. It's got great writing, it's got great action scenes, it's got great costumes, a lot of practical effects.
Yeah, a lot of practical effects. Yeah, that's true.
Get on with it. Fine.
I don't know, man. It's just fun, and it has like good messages too. Where when he says like, okay, well, we can keep failing, but if we stop trying, then we truly failed. And I'm like, yeah, I agree.
And they're like, what?
They're like, what? I mean, like, yeah, it's an oxymoron, but at the same time, he has a point.
Yeah.
Like, it has good messages. The film's just
very good.
What?
All right, final ratings?
Yeah, final ratings.
Pardon denied.
This session is adjourned.
We just don't see any faults, really.
I see no faults. I think it's a 10 out of 10. I had constant fun. We were laughing our ass off. There's some scenes, we had to like go back and then rewatch it because of how funny it was.
Yeah.
Overall, yeah, I have no flaws. I think it's a 10 out of 10 movie. It's definite, like, I'd recommend it to anybody because this film is very much, it doesn't have like a hard block, you need to know this or this. It very much just like, boom, you're in the world, this, and this happens, and it doesn't confuse you at all.
Yes.
Right? It doesn't like something like Dune I can see very much people get very confused for Dune.
Yeah.
Right? It's nothing like Dune. It's nothing like a lot of sci-fi movies. You're just like, you take a step in the door, you're instantly welcome. And,
right.
I mean, yeah, I'd recommend it to anybody.
Yeah. It's a D&D movie where you don't have to know anything about D&D.
Yeah, it's great.
But then it has a lot of D&D aspects, I'm assuming.
Yes. Overall, 10 out of 10?
10 out of 10, we're okay. Before people are like, wow, you guys give it a lot of 10 out of 10s.
Yeah.
It's like, Moist Critical never gives out 100s because there's no perfect movie.
Uh-huh.
But then, I don't know, man. Just like, there's just some things. This is our just personal opinions.
In my opinion, Moist Critical is... No.
I mean, and Moist Critical is right. Like, it's like, there are no perfect movies.
Of course there's no perfect movies. But in my opinion, I don't give a fuck about that opinion. That's stupid. If I think something's like a 10 out of 10, it's a 10 out of 10. Drive for me is a perfect movie, in my opinion. I love Drive. That's a 10 out of 10 movie. Oh, it doesn't have enough cool dialogue. It doesn't have enough backstory. Like, you can criticize anything you want. Holy shit. I can buy a tomato from the market and oh my god, I don't know where it came from. This is a 2 out of 10 tomato.
Okay, where is this going?
It's going. I'm just ranting about like, no movie is perfect, but if you yourself enjoy a movie a lot, you can rate it a 10 out of 10. You can't say objectively. Of course, you can't say objectively it's a 10 out of 10. That doesn't exist. That's not a real thing.
Right.
There's no objective thing. It's like how I think Akira Kurosawa is the greatest director in history. That is not an objective opinion. That's subjective,
Yeah,
If you're coming to somebody's channel, and I guess if they want to put themselves on a pedestal and say, I'm an objective reviewer, it's like, no, you're not. No one. Like, I guess you can try. You can really try. But it's like, once you start making something objective, you have to have like a list of standards that you go by. But, here in this channel, I guess it's personal opinions. I think it's a 10 out of 10 movie.
It's just, our stuff is just literal personal. No flame on anybody.
Yeah. We don't give good reviews for the TV shows.
Oh, most definitely not.
Like, there's a reason why we make all those videos on those TV shows, but we don't give good reviews for those, which kind of shows what type of stuff we like, right? And it's not like one genre of stuff we like. Like, I'm sure we'll get to movies that we don't like as much, but right now in the timeline, there's just movies we really, really like.
Right.
So that we're reviewing, and then of course you got the shows. So if you want to look for stuff that you want to you want to inject some negativity into yourself, go to our TV shows. the on the burner, the tier list ones. Those are usually where we don't like shows, because even for shows we do like, I don't think we'll do like a tier list on it, because
Right.
what's the point if you like every episode?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, overall, this film is definitely 10 out of 10. I'm gonna watch it again for sure with my family.
Yes.
But yeah, so 10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Alright, goodbye.
Alright, goodbye.
What's 2 + 2?
I'm bad at math.
Don't you feel better?
No.